Welcome to another exciting edition of Swim Easy Speed. This is another special edition where we're going to be doing the video analysis for the pro camp that was going on here. And this is actually session 6 with Chris Leiferman. And Chris, I guess Chris was probably the fastest one here at the camp. And the really cool thing about Chris is that, after we looked at his stroke and kind of looked at what he was doing in the water and the speeds that he was going, Chris has got a lot of upside kind of potential in his stroke. So we identified some of the areas where he could really improve. And, it's not going to happen overnight, but with some really focused practice, he's still got some significant room to get faster in his stroke, get faster and more efficient. So without further ado, here we go. So I'll just let this kind of play for a little bit, and you can see kind of above water, below water. And then we'll start kind of breaking everything down and what we looked at. Okay, so we'll start rewinding this a little bit. We'll take a look at his stroke. All right, so here we go. So the first couple things that jumped out, he's like a lot of everybody, he's been kind of a little low in the water, angled a little down. Some of that's the endless pool. Some of it's core engagement could be a little bit better. The other thing that I want to point out really quick that we noticed right away was kind of the timing was off on his breath a little bit, particularly when he breathes to the right. So here it is. You can see that he's basically the arm is kind of bringing his face back into the water. And it's just he's breathing just a little bit late. And one of the things that we kind of realized was that it looked like he was getting a little bit of a better pull on the left side than the right side. So if we go through, it's kind of dying off a little bit at the tail end of the right. And so, we came up with some pretty good cues that were helping him out, especially towards the end of the week. And, he was able to see some difference in his stroke. So, all right, here we go, underwater. He does a pretty good job of, getting into that high elbow catch position. And, he's a little wide. You can see where the hand goes out there on the right. The big issue here is kind of this body position in the water. You can see kind of right there. So that gap kind of between his butt and the water line, and then just this general angle from the hip. This is all kind of then drag that he's having to pull against when he pulls. And then it's kind of tilting it back, so instead of the lat really engaging, it's really the top of the shoulder, top and front of the shoulder that are pulling him through the water. And what we want is, really, really long, flat body on the water line. So you're going to maximize kind of that distance per stroke because you're minimizing drag and increasing kind of that length of the water line. And then you're really putting yourself in a great position to use these big muscles in your back to pull you through the water, and then they're all coordinated working together. So that's kind of the importance of body position in the water. And then we'll go to the overhead, and you'll be able to see kind of what we really worked on for this session. So here we go. You can see just like a lot of the people that we've had in this week, you can see like right there. So from here to here, he's basically, that's just a stabilizing motion in the water. So he's putting in a movement that's destabilizing kind of his feel in the water. And, his brain and body are like compensating for that. So you typically see kind of that scissor kick like that. And, he's effectively fighting himself to go forward in the most efficient way possible. And so that's one of the things that we'd want to look to kind of correct and get it where we can we can really get all of this momentum all moving really, really in a straight line. Instead of, and let's see, we'll move it forward a little bit. So you can see when that hip goes out, you can see, we start to get a little bit of an kind of a curve right here in his body. When we really want just this rigid, solid, straight line running right down the middle of his body. And everything kind of rotates along that long axis of the stroke. That's what we're looking to do. And, this is where that idea of, you can't separate out technique from fitness comes from. He's got to basically provide a lot of stability in the water because the water is this really dynamic, unstable place for a human body. So to be able to transfer the power being generated from his arms, his pull, and a little bit from his kick, you've got to have this really efficient, stable, foundational kind of platform that transfers that into forward momentum. Now, for humans, it's a fairly inefficient thing. I think it's something like 11% of the power generated is actually translated into forward momentum in the water. But 11% is better than 7%. And that's typically, I think, where, if I remember the study right, that's typically where you see just kind of everyday average recreational swimmers. About 7% of the movement they make is being translated into forward momentum. So you can have these kind of orders of magnitude difference in efficiency, kind of in translating the movement into forward progress. So yeah, you can see, he's throwing a little bit wide. It's easier to see kind of, he doesn't start moving that head on the breath till right about there. So it's like a half a beat late. And then he's way, way over here, so you can start to see where that scissor kick is coming from. And that's where the feet come apart. Feet come apart again. It's going wide out here. We'll be able to see kind of on this side. So there's the pull. And then the hand is kind of out here because that actually is right. That's his elbow. So, it's way outside kind of the body frame right there. So he's giving up a little bit of leverage on the water. All right, so we'll keep on going forward. And so what we did was we just wanted to establish kind of a feel for how you move everything really, really straight forward. What does that movement feel like? So again, what we did was we went back to the kind of, actually here. You can see a little bit better, there's the hand going wide. So here's kind of midline. So if we put midline right there, you can see that he's right on midline, especially with that arm coming in and just where the momentum is going. So here's the momentum. I think it does better. We'll be able to see it better on the other side when we go here when he doesn't breathe. So you can see kind of there's the momentum coming in. You can see where a lot of it's going straight forward, but some of it goes out into to his right. And then you can see kind of the hand goes kind of wide there. So there's his hand, there's the elbow. Again, kind of here's midline. We'd like to see that hand moved in a little bit closer towards that midline. He'll get a little bit more leverage there. It'd be easier to engage the lat. And then we'll move it forward. We'll get a front underwater. So here's where you get to see where he's pretty efficient. So, if we're talking about frontal drag, the only real frontal drag we've got is arms, kind of chest, a little bit of the torso, head, and then the occasional foot that foot that's coming out right there, and then it's kind of on the other side as well. So then we'll go to kind of one of the drills that we did at the very beginning. We went back to what we've pretty much been working on with everybody, which is getting them to move everything very, very straightforward. So here we are with that pipe drill again. And, you can see he's playing around with it. He's trying to find out where exactly he needs to place his hands each time. And you see as we go through, we'll stop that. Oops. Okay. So you can see, he's getting more of this straight line kind of right down the middle of his body. His feet are staying together a lot better. And there's you can see right there, everything's a little bit more coordinated in terms of pulling himself straight forward. So then here's kind of this side-by-side comparison. And if you go and look, so this side over here, so this one over here, you can see how more of everything is kind of being thrown straight forward. That momentum is being driven straight forward. Instead of where it looks a little bit less connected. So just compare the two again. You can see how he's really kind of engaging all the way up and down that chain. And then on the other one, it's a little bit less engaged. So the hips are more engaged on this side, on the after. And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to connect all of those different body parts up and down that kinetic chain and make the whole stroke and the whole body work to move us forward in a very, very efficient way with minimal amount of drag. And you do that movement over and over and over again, and eventually you'll start getting more and more efficient. So thanks again for tuning in. As always, if there are any questions, please let me know. Please like, share, comment down below, and we will catch you at the next one. Thanks again.